All right. Y'all know what time it is. How y'all doing today? The only thing that I have to say to you all today is to challenge resistance. We don't really understand how much resistance is creating the block to our ultimate blessing, the block to our ultimate desire, our block to our ultimate win. So I had a meeting that was scheduled with my real estate, not real estate, what do you call it? Estate planning attorney today. And one of the exercises that she had given me to do during our last meeting, when I spoke with her today, I expressed to her, I was like, you know what? I'm really having some resistance in this area. I'm really having some resistance in really speaking to and identifying like who and what and like who would make decisions on my behalf, who would not, like who do you trust, who do you not trust, really, who will be responsible, who would have the capability, who would have your best interest at heart, who even knows what your best interest at heart is. So when I expressed to her, I was like, I'm really having some resistance in this area, which is why I have not finished giving you the information that you had asked me to give you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've been working on this clarity retreat with a separate group that's not like anywhere on this platform. But one of the things that she spoke about, and her name is Carrie Ann, one of the things that she spoke about was how resistance will come up and cause us not to do the very things that we know that we need to do. Right. So the very thing that I know that I need to do is make sure that my estate planning documents are updated. I have to make sure that I am not only documenting what I would like for my future or what I would like for my remaining assets, what I would like to happen in a health capacity, all of those things. I have to also understand that there is a responsibility on somebody else that's going to have to make those decisions and execute on my behalf, which is why they are called executors. Come on, somebody. So this is a heavy responsibility, and you have to make sure that you are being diligent around who you choose and why you choose, and then actually seeing if they're going to be okay with filling those shoes. So I'm having resistance in thinking about down the line, thinking about the inevitable, thinking about that we all know that at some point in time, we're going to be in a box. Come on, somebody. Let's just be real. We're going to be in a box and we're going to be in the dirt at some point in our lives, but we just don't know when. But the question is, how are we going to prepare not only our legacies to continue to flourish, but how are we going to prepare our families, our loved ones, and those that are in our lives, those who we want to have that responsibility? How are we going to prepare them so that they know? So I've been having resistance in even speaking about this topic to anyone, which is crazy, right? Which is crazy, but this just lets me know how real the conversation is and how many times people avoid those things and how many times resistance shows up and causes us to block the very thing that we need to do in order to make sure that we are positioning our legacy for success. Now, what I'm saying is, you don't want to position your legacy for success by putting it into the hands of a mismanager. That's what we're not going to do. That's why you are watching this very video. That's why you are here where you are right now, because the goal is for you to be an effective manager so that you can teach those that's going to come behind you to be an effective manager as well. You need to be a good steward. The people who are you going to be leaving your assets to needs to be a good steward. And if you aren't teaching them, how are they going to be a good steward? So you have to start introducing the conversations now. You have to start challenging that resistance when it comes up. You have to make sure that you aren't allowing yourself to be on pause. You have to make sure that you are not allowing yourself to stay stagnant as it relates to a conversation that is so important. Because for the sake of what purpose are you doing all of what you're doing anyway? If it's not going to be transferred over properly, if it's not going to be turned over to someone who can handle the responsibility and have the knowledge and the wisdom and the insight to operate it right. So don't let resistance hold you back. Don't let resistance keep you from doing the very thing that you need to do. And resistance can show up in a lot of ways. Resistance can show up in ways where it's just like, you know, you need to do something, but you don't want to have the conversation. You know that you need to write this thing down, but you don't want to write it down. You know that you have to make these phone calls, but you don't want to make the phone calls. So address why that's happening, address why that's coming up, and then choose your pathway on how you're going to navigate through it. How can you move and push past the resistance that may come up that causes you not to move, that causes you to stay in the same place, that causes you to stay stagnant? You got to challenge yourself, because resistance is going to show up in multiple ways, not only when it comes to estate planning. It's going to come up in everyday decision making as it relates to your finances. It's going to come up in everyday decision making as it relates to your life. It's going to come up in everyday decision making as it relates to your relationships. And so what you need to do is figure out how you will manage the resistance, because the resistance will come. But you have to decide how you are going to handle it. It's all about preparation. You know it's coming. Prepare for that thing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Prepare for that thing. Make sure that you find your way, your mechanism, your routine, your system, your practice to overcome resistance. Understanding the fact that it will reintroduce itself to you, and understanding the fact that you're going to have to put your system in place and operate from that system in order to overcome it again. So don't allow resistance to hold you back from your ultimate vision, hold you back from your ultimate blessing, hold you back from your ultimate goal. Remember what that goal is. Remember why you said yes to this experience. Remember why you said yes to you. Remember that longevity is going to require decision making, and not only decision making, but action and execution. And you guys know that on this platform, I talk about this stuff all the time. What good is the wisdom that you're getting if you're not going to use it? That's not called wisdom. It's not called wisdom. So don't let resistance cripple your wisdom. Don't let resistance block your blessing. Don't let resistance cause you not to do the very thing that you know that you need to do. Okay. Good night. See ya on the next chat. Your financial prosperity awaits you.